Welcome back, you guys. Today we got some major layoffs to talk about. They claim that March was the worst month for layoffs. I didn't know that because I thought in February we were talking about 85K at one point. But yes, they said March is the worst month for mass layoffs. And it's more to come and it's not looking good. Let's get into it.
One day from society's restraints, money, clout, and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with
of mass job cuts is hitting the federal workforce today. The Trump administration is set to slash around 10,000 jobs across the agencies of the Department of Health and Human Services. HHS is massive, overseeing 13 agencies, including the Centers for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and the National Institutes of Health. Some staff at the NIH office in Maryland lined up outside that building today, waiting to get inside and see if they were still employed there.
You see that? People lined up at the door saying, do I even have a job? Let me check and see, do I even have employment right now? That's how bad it is out here.
Drive an hour to go drop off my work laptop because I got laid off, and within 36 hours of them saying bye-bye to me, this box was at my motherfucking doorstep. Okay? It's a bit calculated to me, which makes sense as to last week why they asked me what my mailing address was. I thought it was for tax purposes. It was not. It was not. Deep breaths, sweetheart. Deep breaths. Better's coming. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, better things will come your way. Yep, everything happens for a reason. It might be something good headed your way. The reason why this is happening to you right now, just stay optimistic and continue to do great and find something better than what that was. Go out there and get it.
Breaking news this evening, the Trump administration will be firing up to 20% of the IRS's workforce beginning this evening. I've received a number of emails from a number of employees working at the IRS who said they received reduction in workforce notices. Now, here's what's the significant part. It's happening during tax season. Tax season ends on April 15th. This is the busiest time of year for the IRS, and well, they're about to terminate a lot of people. According to reports from the Associated Press, this could impact up to 20,000 employees. That's up to 25% of the entire IRS's workforce. It's going to be absolute chaos at the IRS during tax season. Yes, you have to still file, but this is all part of an effort by the Trump administration to stop investigating those who are tax cheats, the wealthier. And so tonight is the beginning of what is going to be a massive reduction in workforce. I've received a number of emails from a lot of you, and I will continue to provide you updates, so spread the word. And as always, I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio. Follow along for more.
Major news today that American companies are already laying off workers because of Donald Trump's disastrous tariffs. Here are the two companies that have laid off workers in the hours after Trump's announcement. First, Stellantis, who makes Ram trucks and Jeeps, said on Thursday it was temporarily laying off 900 workers at 5 U.S. facilities. Now, what does temporarily mean? We don't know, but it seems they might be permanent if these tariffs stay in place, which Trump is telling us they will. Also, Whirlpool in Iowa announced their largest layoff of 2025 in their Amana manufacturing.
I hope that really is temporary. That's the first time I've seen something that they're temporarily laying off. That would be great if it's something temporary and you can come back. Now, that's the first time I heard that one because the other ones was just like pink slipping folks on out. There's too many people. Bye.
Facility. This is what happens when you implement tariffs as haphazardly as the Trump administration has done. The costs of goods that companies use in their products, even if they're made in America, go up. That is the reality of tariffs. And the reality of this situation is that your goods, my goods, will go up because of one guy, his name, President Donald J. Trump.
Corporate Gen Xers, you better buckle up. It's going to get ugly here pretty quick. I mean, think about this. March was the third most layoffs in history, and that's when businesses were doing well and performing financially, right? This is, mass layoffs even after strong financial quarters. Now with the utter chaos in the stock market and what these companies, do you think they're going to sit still? Absolutely not. They're going to ramp up taking cost out of business. And again, who's going to be the brunt of it? Gen Xers. Because even though you have the most experience, wisdom, etc., they don't care. You're also going to be the most expensive. So if you thought you were going to be able to ride this out, things just took a turn, and it's going to accelerate. There's just no doubt about it. Like I said, just look at the last 12 months where a lot of these companies were financially performing well and taking cost, basically people out of the business. It's only going to ramp up. So if you haven't made your plan B, I would highly encourage you to think about that now. Again, there's no reason why you can't start this process. Again, I talk a lot about monetizing your corporate experience. You've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years. You paid the price, you paid the dues. You might as well make some money from it. And small businesses are going to feel this, but not the same way that corporate's going to basically cut the costs. So if you've been thinking about escaping, curious about it, but haven't taken any action, now would probably be the time to do that, unless you're one of the 20% that has enough in your 401k, which may have taken a hit, and can retire here in the next couple of years. You can ride it out. But if not, like I said, there's no better time to start preparing. And like I said, this is what I've kind of dedicated the last couple of years. Been doing this for 5 years, dedicated the last couple of years to helping others get out. So if you are curious, if you are nervous, I've got some free tools. Just go click the link in my profile.
This is from the corporate escapee on TikTok. I want y'all to have his information if you were interested in some of the things he had to help people. I do believe what he just said. Make sure you got some kind of backup, unless you just absolutely got some money in your 401k and you didn't take a major hit when this market fell. It's definitely getting ugly out here. That's for sure. If you got some kind of backup plan, I think you'll be good. If you already took steps ahead of time watching stuff like this, you should be fine. Other than that, everybody else probably just got to ride out the storm. Ride out the storm to see what's going to happen, and just hope that it's not you. Every time you wake up in the morning and say, thank you, Jesus, it ain't me. Although I pray for my fellow brethren, the situation is very bad. All we can do is just watch.
Raise your hand if you got laid off today. And they said, it's not a reflection of you or your work or anything, but it just sucks. Not only because, I have a family and a mortgage, and we don't come from that life. So this, it matters. But they sought me out. I was running my own consulting business. I was doing social media, and I'd been doing it for 7 years. And they contacted me. Here I am trying to save the world, and I can't even save myself. I am a nerd, so I think I'm gonna go to the library and look at old books.
They're not being honest with the public on what and how this is going to impact them.
That's Shannon Ellis. She leads the Treasury Union in Kansas City, where some 6,000 IRS workers are bracing for layoffs. Doge has said that federal workers are lazy or unproductive, but Ellis told us that the data shows a different story.
If you're a federal employee, there's not 1 millisecond of your day that is not documented, right? When we sign onto a system, it date stamps and time stamps when you get in there.
The IRS is just one of the agencies with a major presence in Kansas City. The federal government is the city's largest employer by far, so layoffs are going to hit hard in the coming weeks. Ellis has been at the IRS for 28 years. She says that if there are not enough IRS workers to collect tax revenues for the federal government, then services around the country will suffer.
Nobody likes paying taxes. I don't even like paying taxes. So when you try to talk about Internal Revenue Service, the public thinks, good, now they can't collect our taxes. But they don't think, how's that going to impact my grandmother that gets a Social Security check, or my kids that have to eat school lunches, or even early childhood development, or my veterans that won't get the care they need because we have to cut all of these agencies because we have no funds for it.
You got a whole family. So when this happens to you and you're trying to pay a mortgage and take care of your kids and your family, everyday basic needs and survival, is very devastating to people to have to go through this. And it's a part of life, and it's happened a lot of times. The Great Depression, the 08 recession, a lot of times in between, it's happened to a lot of folks. And it's just like a repeat all over again. The only thing you can do is, knowing that these things happen, say you don't get fired at all during this period, what are the steps are you going to take for in case this get worse than this? Make sure you don't have an expensive house next time. Think a little bit harder before you sign that lease to that new vehicle you've been looking at and eyeing. And I'm talking about thinking about this when you're up financially, you're not in the red zone, everything is fine, you got your raises, maybe you got promoted, but what are you gonna do for long term, thinking about if something was to happen? Make those preparations now, people. I'm trying to tell you, make sure you always stay what do I always say? Within your means. Just live within your means and you'll be all right. You will be all right. But I just want to bring it to you guys that yes, we had more mass layoffs around us. Worse than ever in March. Let's see what's going to happen in April, May, and June. We all seen the market tumble also. The market fell. This week it was really bad. Soon as he announced more tariffs. You can't make this up, you guys. Y'all buckle up and get ready for the ride. Y'all got your seatbelts on? I'm Tiffany Rose. Let me know down in the comments. Have you been seeing mass layoffs all around you? Do you got any friends that have been laid off recently? More importantly, what are the American people to do? If you're new to the channel, smash that like button. For all my returning subscribers, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you showing the love. I'm Tiffany Rose. Till next time, I'm out.
One day from society's restraints, money, clout, and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the